everyone in the batch meet Eliza. Eliza meet the batch. All right. So, so Eliza, first, just give us a kind of brief introduction. Who are you? What are you? Where are you from? Tell us about yourself a bit.
Yes, so I'm Eliza Sowah, and I'm all the way in West Africa, Ghana. Yes, I'm a senior accountant with Herbalife Nutrition. Yes, and I also have a charter here in Ghana with the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana.
The local body, right?
Yes, the local body here in Ghana. Yeah. So yes, basically that's me. And then I love kids. I love helping out with kids and helping them find their standing line. Yes, that's me.
All right, brilliant. So how did you end up? Um, how did you like? What's the connection with you and CIMA? How did you end up wanting to be a chartered global management accountant? What's
Yes, so for me, it was a conversation I had with my boss in 2019. Yeah, she realized I was very good with what I do, passionate about getting better. And so she spoke to me about CIMA and told me that she's already a student and she thinks this would be a great move for me.
Okay.
And so in 2019, I made that decision to join the CIMA family.
So, like, was it that you took a gateway route, a direct entry route, or did you like do the entire qualification?
No, so because of the certification I had here in Ghana, I was supposed to just do the strategic case study. There was nothing else I had. So I didn't have I've never written an objective test before, none of the other exams, straight to the strategic case study.
So wasn't it like a little kind of fearful? Like you haven't really done any of the OTQs, you don't really know what CIMA is, you're just entering the partner's paper. So didn't it kind of, make you a little afraid or anything like that?
I was very afraid, and AZB, you know that. I was really skeptical about taking this exam because I didn't want to waste money. I didn't want to fail and waste money. I didn't have the time. I didn't even really have the time to study because work is busy. At the end of the day, you're already tired. Okay. So I didn't feel like I could really do this. And I remember when I reached out to you, that was like my very first question. Am I being too ambitious to want to do this in such a short time?
So let's connect it to you coming across me and my work. How did that happen? How did you decide to join this program?
I watched a YouTube video. I think you were explaining, you were demystifying this whole strategic case study. Then I watched another video you did, another video, and I decided, like you really are good. You could really explain the things better than the other videos I had seen. And I felt like this was really going to be a good shot. So I think back then there was a Zoom session you were having, which was free, so everybody could just join. And so I joined, and that was when I made the decision that even though I don't know you, I really want to do this with your help.
So then we had a chat and a couple of mails here and there, and you joined in, but you also joined in a little late, right?
Very late.
Yeah.
Very late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
was
you asking me, is it okay?
Because the exam was in November, and I reached out to you was in October. So that is less than 2 months. So it was the first week of October, and the paper was scheduled for November.
So how did it go? How many marks did you get? How was the experience?
So despite the fear, I had a 90. And for me, I was just looking to get the pass mark and to be done with it. But after all that you taught us, I was way up there. I actually had a 90, and I was surprised myself.
So you joined this program, right? You watched a few YouTube videos and you felt like, all right, I can trust this person, and you joined the program. And as the program and you're way out there, right? It's known there. And I'm here, it's getting dark here. And you trust me, and I'm so thankful for that. So as the weeks go by, the second week, third week, fourth week, you get the mocks, you're writing, you're learning, the live sessions are happening. How was that experience?
For me, I always say that had it not been for you, I really wouldn't have passed, because what I thought I should be doing and what you thought should be done were very two different things. And the classes were very, very, very helpful, even though it was such a short time. It's all about paying attention and just listening to what you were saying and actually listening to what you were saying and not keeping my own thoughts of what I think should be. Yeah, so the classes were very, very, very helpful.
So one of the things I really focus on, and I always, talk about until probably the point that your ears hurt, is write mocks, focus on the mocks, do the mocks, write and write again, So, uh, and then you actually you did a lot of writing work. Now, my question is, as a stranger, as someone directly entering the strategic case study, how important do you think writing good mocks are? And what do you think generally, considering the exam, do you think that mocks are essential, that practicing writing is important, especially for someone like you?
Yes, so I remember, like you said, you would always say that we should take time to write the mocks. But right from the beginning, I really didn't have the time. And like I said, I had my own thoughts. I thought, okay, I can write the mocks, but the more important part is to study.
Yes.
But you kept on saying it every time you would say we must write the mocks. And so at the very last moment, I decided to start.
Yes.
And when I timed myself for the first time and I realized the essential part this plays, because if I hadn't taken any of the mocks, the exam would have been a very big flop. And I'm really grateful for the kind of feedback that you give, because you were very direct with the answers I had provided. And you'd always say, this is good, but you could do it this way, this would be better. And then you really helped. So right from the beginning, my grades were bad, but then they picked up. Yes, I picked up with the mocks. And so for me, I believe if you don't take any mocks, you are really putting yourself at a very huge disadvantage. It's really all about the mocks and making time to do it and trying to time yourself, because the exam would have been difficult if that was the first time I was timing myself.
So I have your first attempt. So I'm saying, so you actually had done a great job, even though you got a fail result. And I'm saying that your target, because of the way I perceived your writing, I set up target of 65. So after the final week, like the kind of place where we are at, after having done the final mock to the exam, what did you do? How was your preparation process? How was all that?
Yes, so for me, it was more about still going through the questions and finding a way of answering them better. Because, like you said, it was after I started the mocks that I realized that maybe my answering wasn't so good. And for me, okay, I also had a question in my head. The mocks I'm taking now doesn't meet the standard of an actual exam. And there were lots of talks around. Someone will come and say these questions, someone will come and say another person is talking about this. But I just kept my cool and just followed through with just what you were giving us and answering the questions. And yes, indeed, the questions were standard. The questions really were standard.
Yeah. So
Yes.
on that, Eliza. So you said, right, there's a lot of buzz. A lot of people your friends, a lot of people try to tell you so many things. And something I always push for is stay on track. Don't let the noise kind of bother you. And even in terms of the different material and all of this noise, was it really worth it to kind of stay on track and not take too much heed into all that noise outside?
Yes, it was really worth it, because After the exam, I realized that all the noise didn't materialize into anything. Nothing. There was nothing from, you should read this. This is what this is saying. This person is saying that. None of those things materialized. But actually, some of the things you had taken us through showed up right in the exam.
So I think what I'm trying to get at is just be quite straightforward and open. As a coaching program, this is something I've been working on and developing. As a coaching program, would you think that this covers all ground?
Absolutely. I believe all the videos you shared, all the platform, the Google Drive, everything you put on there, going through it was everything I needed. I didn't need so much more. And like you said, the mock, without the mock, I think even if you go through it and you don't try the mock and get your feedback on how to build it better, it still will not be of much good. So that's plus the mock and your feedback was everything. It was worth the money because initially I was worried that I didn't know you. Obviously, was it a good idea to trust you in this internet generation? What if no Zoom class happens? But I believe it was absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. I wouldn't have chosen any other place to have taken my class.
It's a very big thing. I'm just
Yes.
I'm this just this guy out of this little island, and I'm trying to talk to so many people out there. And it's really amazing. I know it may not be a big deal, but I'm really humbled by that trust
Yes.
a lot of people who
It's a
place
gift
in me.
you have.
And I'm very happy and I'm so thankful, Eliza, for your kind words, for saying that I am trustworthy. It's a really big deal for me.
Because you are.
I try my best. I try my best. So it's God's blessing. Let's put it that way. That's exactly what it is. So Eliza, you got your ACMA, right? How did it feel? How was results day when you got your results? How was getting ACMA? How did your family react? Your loved ones, your friends?
So happy. It was out of this world. I was so excited. I wish I could just stand on top of a mountain and just scream that I actually did pass this. And because I didn't get leave from work, um my HR knew I was going to write a paper, but then she was skeptical with me because I didn't actually have like leave days to sit down to study. And so when I got it, I told her that I got it. She was also so happy for me. And so like for me, it would have been impossible because it really actually looks impossible considering starting in October and writing the exam in September, November. The time seemed too short. But like we said, following through, the joy was worth every moment, every time. And I believe with the Zoom classes, you made provision for my timing as well. And so that really helped me. Everything was worth it, totally worth it. Thank
And
you,
now,
AZB.
and congratulations. Now you're officially an associate member of CIMA. You're a designation holder for AICPA. You can call yourself a chartered global management accountant, and all of the benefits that come with it. And we all belong to the same fraternity. So congratulations in person,
Thank you.
live. My final question for you is: so there's a batch. There are members from various backgrounds, coming from various places. Some like yourself who haven't really studied for a long time and who have directly entered the case study and joined the program, work with me. Some who have been doing CIMA. Some there are young members, there are senior members. There's a good mix. So from your take, from your perception of how you see the world, your friends, all these colleagues, your environment, your country, your culture, from all of that, what would you say? What would you tell people who are taking the case study? What are the takeaways you on your part would like to share?
So for me, I believe the practicality of the case study is something the world needs now, and not just studying the theories in the books. And so taking this whole thing serious is going to be of help, because of course, after you get promotions or you rise higher from passing this exams, you still need to take to the job whatever you are learning. So I believe taking this class serious and taking the exam serious is really beneficial in all aspects. It's made me more practical when it comes to dealing with the numbers. I'm thinking more practically. What is the use of this theory? What's the use of this numbers my company has? How can we make it better so that the whole picture is a good one? So for me, it really has. It wasn't just an exam. It really has been beneficial.
Brilliant.
It really
That's
has.
exactly kind of what we want, right? When we undertake new learning. So,
Yes.
all right. So, any final pieces of advice for the members who are going to take the exam next week? Anything? Any last thoughts?
Yes. I believe the best you can do for yourself now is to just practice more on the mocks and to actually send your answers to AZB to get them marked, so that from the feedback he gives you, you know what else to build on. Yes. So it's not just about studying, but getting feedback for your mocks. I believe if there's any advice I would give you, if you haven't for any reason started a mocks yet, or you've written just one or two, just put your all into it and get more mocks done and actually time yourself. Because I realized at the final day, it was the timing that was an issue, like not having enough time. So if you don't know how to manage your time, you've not practiced how to manage your time, that would be the greatest issue for you. Yes, so that would be my words of advice to everyone.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Eliza. I want to, turn to the members. Everyone, she's, this is a good time to get hold of her. She's actually made the time and the effort for us. If you have any questions, anything you want to ask, please feel free. So seems like there are no direct questions. Have you got any questions that on your side, Eliza?
Not really, just whether we are taking the mocks. Yes. And I know for you, you definitely do give the feedback. At a point, I wasn't really sure how you were doing it, like to give everybody personal feedback and still make time for other things. I think you really do so much well. So for the class, if there's any mock you haven't taken yet, please just make sure you try and get it done. Okay, so I think there's a question. Yes, so for the technical areas, I really made the time to go through things that were new to me. And so because I had a charter and I've been working for just a few years, it's easy to understand these things. But the technical ones that you have zero idea of, you have to read. And the videos that AZB makes available helps. The classes are recorded. You can always go back. When you don't understand something, read it. When you still don't get it, you can watch videos on YouTube. There are some videos that help the explanation go in better when you don't understand. Yes, but for me, like you said, in covering the technical part, if you don't understand something, whichever way possible, make sure you get it, because there could be a technical question, and if you don't understand at all, you have a zero chance of getting your final answer correct. So still go through the summary of the course materials. Yes, you still need to make that time. For me personally, my personal way of studying, I like to um study in diagrams and in summaries. And so when I don't get something, I try to write it out in my own words, try to explain it till I get it. And when I don't, I would always reach out for help.
Indeed. So the gist would be that you don't try to go through the entire syllabus, but you try to go through the content and pick out the ones you feel uncomfortable with, and then recap.
Yes. I think when you try to go through the entire content page by page, you would be so frustrated. I started that. Yes, so I got soft copies. I think it was Kaplan. I was using a soft copy, and but like we are saying, so for me, before I joined this class, I had started reading, I think, the E3,
Okay.
and I was overwhelmed. Exactly. I was honestly overwhelmed. Honestly, I was overwhelmed. I felt like if I need to, because I don't have any idea at all, if I need to go through everything before I can actually write the case study, then it's impossible. So that was the kind of mindset I started the class with, that I am not really able to go through um all this myself.
But things worked
Yeah.
out.
Exactly. That's why I keep on saying that it's about following the instructions. Um, and I believe you cover almost everything in your entire course.
Indeed.
And so when a class is going on and you actually don't understand something, the best thing is to voice it out. So as at now, if there's something you really don't get, sometimes you can have a bugging question, but you're just too shy to ask or make much out of it. You actually should, because one of the technical questions that was in my exam was something I had seen and I had decided to go read about it because I really didn't remember what it was. And that was what came in. So you may not need to do the entire book, but at least whatever you're coming across, just make sure you understand, because there's nothing as painful as seeing something in the exam and you saw it like a month or some weeks before, but you never paid attention to what was being said. There's nothing as painful as that. So just try your best to go through everything you have now. Yeah, I can see your comments. Yes, exactly. Mhm. Yeah, the feedback really helps you to know where it should be. Yeah, but it shouldn't make you feel like it's too big. It should make you feel like you just need to put in a bit more, and getting the time to answer the questions according to time. Sometimes you may not get, I wasn't getting the whole 3 hours to sit down. So I can do, like, if it's 1 hour, I just do the one question. I just make the time and, like, solve it within the time constraint. Make sure I don't look at any other question. When I come to the next one, I do it within the time constraint, because you may not have that time, but you must do the questions. You must go through and get the feedback from AZB.
Like I feel like I've gotten also slightly better at giving feedback now. It's very constructive. It has helped many. So thank you, Eliza, for sharing your experiences with the feedback also. Look, I want to ask you something that just came to my mind. Okay. Now, the way I do the mocks, I promote self-timing. You time yourself, and there's a reason to it. I've never really been very outspoken. But my question is, Eliza, now, because of the way that you have to time yourself, right? So you know consciously you're picking a 1 hour frame. All right, today 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'm going to do this task, and you do that a few instances. You get a hang of your time, how you approach time, right, for this paper, and that your clock works, your mind's clock starts working. So even in the exam, as you start writing, you know when it's half an hour, when it's 45 minutes, you kind of know. That's my thinking. That's where I kind of I'm very resistant, and I promote self-timing with Hourglass. So do you think it works? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's helpful?
Yes, it's really is, because I remember in when I was in the class, someone asked that question, that when she going to give us a timed environment where we didn't need to like time ourselves to stop. And then you mentioned that we could still use this, and it's really actually helps you to be honest to yourself. I mean, you at this level of your profession, if you are saying you're giving yourself 1 hour to do one question, you should be able to time yourself and see that within the hour is all I have. I'm not going to cheat myself into stealing 20 extra minutes. So for me, when I started, I realized the 1 hour was difficult. I couldn't do the 1 hour. So I decided to hold on and to try other questions and see if I can get to compress my time.
Indeed.
So it was after a few mocks that I could actually do the 1 hour. But you have to get to the point where you are actually doing the 1 hour, because for me, the practical exam, I think there was one portion I wanted to shift, and like right before I was shifting, it's like the time just went off.
Okay.
And so if like you don't really learn to work within the 1 hour, you'll be disadvantaged, seriously disadvantaged. So what you have now is a good tool to help yourself as a professional in being honest with yourself, that if I'm going to do this in 1 hour without anybody being there, I should be able to do it in an hour and stop wherever I get to and move to the next question.
So brilliant. Any other questions? Anything on your end, Eliza?
No, I would wish you all the very, very best, and to not be too afraid. For me, fear was like a very big factor for me. I didn't think I could actually do it. To try and put in your best and to not panic. Try not to panic when maybe you see something you can't answer, and then to have your bullet points of what you want to cover during the entire 1 hour you're answering the question, and to just build around the points you have, and try not to panic even if it's something you can't answer, because you don't have to get every question correct to pass anyway. So there could be a couple of questions you may not be able to do, but the ones you can do, you have to make sure that it's done very well. And with the help of God, you all pass and you would experience this joy. Yes, so all the best, everyone.
Thank you so much, Eliza. And I wish you all the very best. I'm sure the batch is with me as well. You, your family, your loved ones.
Mm,
We'll keep in touch, and
sure.
let's keep doing our parts to make the world a better place. Thank you so much for joining.
Exactly. Thank you to AZB. Thank you, everyone.
On that note, let me go to the third section of the mock, the supposedly tricky one.